I just think with Pedro Porro, nobody in the team can do what he can do on the ball. As a fullback, nobody. Destiny can't pass like him. Spence can't shoot like him. Neither can cross like him.
He's starting to learn that. Pedro Porro, obviously, on the other side, he's a lot better at that. He can play some of the long passes, and we've benefited from him going forward. But also at the same time, his defensive deficiencies also cause us to concede a lot of goals. So it's a bit of a tough one. And I suppose with him, it can be, you know, you've got to accept the good things, but also accept the bad things. But just on Porro in particular, because looking ahead to this final, obviously Porro started a lot of the games as of recently, but prior we had Jed Spence going in. Do you think Porro is the better option going forward over Jed Spence, or do you think that Jed Spence should be the guy playing at right back? Because like you said there, defensively, Spence is definitely more stronger, but going forward, Porro just has, I suppose, an ability second to Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I saw a stat recently that he's got more goal contributions than Trent since joining the Premier League. Not to say that he's better going forward, but he obviously statistically provides just as high as a level.
Yeah. It's an interesting question, because I think we were literally talking about it in the group chat the other day. I actually do think Jed Spence overall is a more rounded right back. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Jed Spence he's good going forward. Like he can find good crosses. He can take on his opponent. He's aggressive. He doesn't treat the ball like a hot potato. And then on the defensive end, he's good in 1v1 situations. He wins aerial duels. I do think sometimes he does lose a bit of concentration. Like sometimes he lets people run off him. Like he goes to sleep a little bit.
Especially on the left-hand side, we've seen that a few times.
Yeah,
Conceded a few goals.
Exactly. 100%. I remember games like Chelsea recently against West Ham,
Bournemouth.
Yeah, like you just go Jed Spence, like for someone who's I would say he's a very competent defender. He just switches off. So there's definitely a concentration thing there. But for me, I think he's probably the right back that you want playing more game to game. However, when I look at quality on the ball, Pedro Porro for me far exceeds any other fullback we have. So, sorry, I know it's again a vague answer, but it's like I think we have two options there. You should, as a manager, you have the ability to use them as and when
good selection headache. It's one that you want to have.
Exactly. And right now, I got panned for it the other day, but I'm still going to say it. At this point in time, Pedro Porro is playing better football than Jed Spence. So if you're asking me who I would play in the final on current form, I would start Pedro Porro. I would start Pedro Porro. But if Jed Spence was to start that final, I wouldn't be looking at it like, oh, like what's this? I have confidence in Spence, and he's shown us his quality this season. I just think with Pedro Porro, nobody in the team can do what he can do on the ball. As a fullback, nobody. Destiny can't pass like him. Spence can't shoot like him. Neither can cross like him. Like I think his qualities on the ball are clear to see. Forget even about just the G&A stuff. Like just this technical quality on the ball alone. Like some of the things he does, the tricks, nutmegs, ball striking, free kicks. He's by far and away our best ball playing fullback. But unfortunately, for him, Destiny and Spence, I think they're more rounded in terms of what they offer to the team. So,
hey, yo, sorry for the interruption, but we have an important message that I need to relay to you guys. This clip has been taken from a live stream that has already taken place. So make sure you are tapped into the channel for real. Smash the like button, but make sure you are definitely subscribed to stay up to date with everything Durag Diaries. Thank you for watching.
So I'm happy that he's playing well, because I think he's had a very poor campaign, if I'm being honest. I think he's had a poor campaign this season defensively, and even offensively. I think there's been far too many games where he's not given us that level of quality that you typically expect from Porro. However, he's playing good football at this point in time. So I would keep the hot hand going.
No, and it's exactly that. Is what you mentioned there is Porro's up and down. There's no doubt about that. Going forward, he gives us such a good quality, and then defensively, I would say that he's had a poor season as well. I think for me, as of recently, his performances have looked a bit better. The one slight I think we can give him is he's been our most available player. Probably, I think he's a player with the most minutes this season. So there could be at times he may have been suffering with potential, tiredness, fatigue. But the thing is with him, when you watch him play, a lot of the goals that he concedes is usually, like you say, they're similar to Jed Spence, those switches in concentration. He just switches off for a moment and then someone gets to run on him in behind. But going forward, no one offers the quality that he has when it comes to that pass that he played to Madison for the goal that he scored was just sublime. Like it's obviously something they've been working on in training, because we've seen Romero make that pass. It's very similar to the Alderweireld to Delhi link up that we used to see nearly 10 years ago now, which is crazy. But those long balls straight over the top, direct, late runs into the box. And Porro is one of the only players that can do that. For me, I think when you talk about players in the Premier League, I don't think there's many players that can pass a ball or even, let's just say, strike a ball better than him. You've got Trent, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, and then there's probably 3 or 4 other players that are on that level.
I think for I don't know about players in general, but I think for fullbacks, definitely he's right up there in terms of that ball striking, passing in the Prem. But it's the cost and the benefit thing again, right? That's the benefit, but you look at what it costs you as a team. You have someone who's out of position. You have someone who's weak in 1v1s, who isn't. It's weird. He's got pace. He can drive with the ball going forward, but off the ball, he gets brushed. Like, very easy to sell. he's really, really poor defensively. So it's a balancing act that the manager really should manage better, knowing when to play Pedro Porro in certain moments where you're going to have line share possession or you want to come out the gates calm. But when you want to play a more measured game and you need more balance, you play Jed Spence. Like, it's a good problem to have. And you know me, whilst I've been critical of Pedro Porro, and I've always said he's not an indispensable player, and he shouldn't be. You can't play the way you play with how bad you defend and just have carte blanche treatment and just be starting week in, week out. You're not that guy, respectfully. He's a good player, in my opinion, but you're not that guy. You're not Walker. So we were bemoaning the lack of opportunities for Spence. Spence should have been playing and pushing him out of the team long time before he even got his nod in the team. But that being said, it's up to the manager to pick and choose when to play Porro.
Yeah, you got to do it by games, and like I say, there looking ahead to this final, I think Porro's been the man in form. Porro's been the guy that's obviously had a really good game in the last one. Defensively, hasn't looked too shabby. You've got to go with Porro. You got to go with the guys, and I think for finals, that's one thing that you got to be key with is you keep the team that's been playing well, the ones that led into that final, shouldn't really make too many variations from that. And I suppose going forward from Porro, looking at the lineup and looking at the potential players that we could play. Obviously, I know Kulusevski is one that we're now not too sure whether he's going to be available. They did say it could be a knock, but they haven't really said whether he's picked up another injury. Just hoping that he is going to be available for that final. But outside of Porro, is there any changes that you'd make to that team that started in the last Bodo Glimt game?
Yes, to be honest. I wouldn't start the players out wide. But if either of them are playing, unfortunately, I can see an argument for starting Brennan Johnson, because